Let's begin indeed. Hello people, Jerry speaking. One Crazy Bunch web shows number 134. So we're doing not one, not two, but 4 dev topics today. And we still got some news report from what's going to happen to Elgin Fridays, the future of Elgin Fridays. So let's talk about right now, shall we? So we got for us. The dev topic we're going to do first is Leslie Fish. Born that name, she was an American folk singer, musician, author, artist, and political activist. Born 1953 in New Jersey, along with the Darling Crew, Fish was created the first commercial folk recording in 1976. Folk songs were folk who hadn't been yet. Her second recording solo series in 1977 included the song "Band for Argo," common songs portraying Star Trek, which have been swapped over 100 versions and parodies. She recorded this comic song "Carmen Marinus Goes," which was the source of the short story Atari Carmen Marinus Goes is haunted Space Station 3, edited by Don Sakers, which she had one story in the notes on the song. The song "Hope Aries" with that is regarded by some as being the close to the anthem of everyone American science fiction fandom is possible in some desperate group. Fish often wove paragraphs from that arduous themes into her music. She has also set to music many poems by Rob Kipling. She was a popular guest at science fiction conventions, and she could often be seen in large film singing, something like that, as with her Desmond's 12-string guitar, Monster. She which she said to play best in which was given good Scotch whiskey. Her film, Fish sang, and made several appearances in the film, spawning the future and science fiction competition, which made a series of using her music. She was interviewed and performed in Tricker's too, okay? Her political analysis goes like this. That was his words, alright. Fish was involved with numerous political causes, okay? Notably anti-war activism during the Vietnam War, was a long-time member of the industrial workers of the world. A favorite version in several of her songs. For example, "Wobbles from Space," "Leslie Fish," folks from that, and she was also well known for the gun rights activist. She has had the private gun ownership, and it was only true possession of individual freedom. And that a topic touched in several of her songs. Because we're distraught and separated of modern society, she had the past work of organized groups for carrying the civilization after she, on one time, at least, commissioned the really collapse of the current society. Her album "Farm Storm" was a large part of met and some instructions for surviving the nuclear war. The reason that was be easier to recall them in what they are lyric form. On altruism, Fish said what sort of animistic future we'd like to see. There's no reason to want the government for a government-free society to be nothing but aberration. No reason at all that we could be a ritual or in space following, something like that. The character Jerry Trott in the science fiction novel Fallen Angels by Larry Niven, Jerry Power, no, something like that, and not Michael Flynn is clearly meant to be Fish, although Trott is portrayed as a Marxist. Wow. Other activities, okay? In addition to her work as a folks artist, Folks is also Fish is also well known within our Star Trek fan community and our works in fan fiction, which includes Shelter, okay? In 1976, one of the first Kirk Spock stories ever published. The fan-published Star Trek novel, The Wait. In Textual Poachers, landmark study of fan communities, MIT's Henry Jenkins described Fish thematic Star Trek novel, The Wait, as a compassionate narrative, remarkable in the scope, complexity in the compassion, the compassion of the exploration and the expense of the financial organizations like that. Anyways, Fish also wrote original novels and short stories, both along the collaboration with C.J. Strauss on that and others. Fish saw Carmine Marina's Ghost in the Haunting Space Station 3, inspired a collection of short stories with the same title, edited by Don Sakers, and featured stories by Cheryl and A. McCarvey, something like that. Fish is an avid role-play gamer, especially live action role-play, or LARPing for short. Anyways, she was a member of the Society for Creative Enterprise, SCA for short, since the 70s. And since 2007, she's also been since the driving force behind the establishment of Fan Haven, a 230-acre, 93-ha private park in Arizona, meant to be served as a safe space for LARPers, patrons, and not just when that pronounce it. Sorry, SEA, DN, something like that. Anyway, and other moderate groups associated with fandom. However, representatives of the federal government have disputed the validity of the money claim that she was proposed and to be established ownership. While Fish rarely discussed her private life, she was also in a romantic relationship with Irish political activist Mary Fallon from the late 60s through the early 80s. Something like that. Together they were part of the Dory Crew, the house band for the IWW. Fish was often observed that bisexual in the human phenomenon, and the proposed sexual repugnation she saw that the current society calls main and the current social ills. She marked well-time friend Robert Ray Bob Robinson on November 13, 2011. Something like that. Wow. One of Fish's partial projects was an ongoing attempt to breed domestic cats to intimidation of trots, something like that. Including lastly, she claimed that her cats are about as intelligent as a 6-year-old human child. Wow. Except in regards to Semitic language. For 2013, Fish and Robinson, something like that, work on developing rare and endangered species orchid, according to proposed rating on Fish's own blog. She died in hospital care in her home on November 29, 2025. She was 72 years old. That's it? Okay, good. The next step, talk about Jill Freed, born June Burries Follett. She was best known as a British actress and theater director. She was also known on the stage name Jill Raymond. Wow. This was usually known as Jill Fraud. After a marriage to Kermit Fraud, something like that. As a wartime teenager, she was evacuated to C.S. Lewis's house in Oxford, and she is said to have been inspiration to Lucy pub sign in the Clarkson area. Wow. Born in April 22nd, 1927, in London, England. She was staying at Lewis for a while. but Florida's and her two sisters were evacuated from London to escape the Blitz. In the summer of 1943, at the age of 16, she moved to the Lewis in her home, the Kilns, in Wallsworth, Oxford, as a housekeeper. Her favorite writer was C.S. Lewis, and apparently she had no idea that she was living in a house with the same man. She developed what she later called a tremendous crush on Lewis. She was highly regarded the household of Lewis's, in the letter of the freed's mother, Wilfred, on January 4th, 1945, said this: "I have never met anything like her unselfishness and patience, kindness that shall fill deep with her doubt as long as I live." She was a Broadway actress, and after 2 years, she left the Lewis's to take her top of the place of Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, something like that. RADA for short. Her fees were being paid by Lewis. Following her graduation, she embarked upon a successful career in the West End under the stage name Jill Raymond. She married poet Fremont Free in 1950 and performed in the Oscar radio plays. In the 70s, when her husband became a MP from Oswald Alley, she helped him canvass something like that. In the 80s, she formed her own theatre company, Jill Ford Company, in Suffolk, England. Her last role was Hill Grant's Dowling Street housekeeper in Love Actually. In 2001, she received an honorary doctorate Silver Wall from the University of East Anglia for services in the theatre. She had 5 children, 1 adopted, including Emma Freed and Matthew Freed, and 17 grandchildren. Larry Freed was vice president of TACT, the Youngest Children's Chart, something like that for short. She died on November 24th, 2025. She was 98 years old. Wow. Anyways, my next step topic has to do with Jack Shepherd. Born that name, he was an English actor, playwright, and theater director. Anyways, he was known for television roles, notably for the title roles in Peter Gribb's political drama Bill Brand in 1976, and the detective series Wycliffe from 1993 to 1998. His film appearances were included All Need and the Black Stockings in 1969, Wonderland in 1999, and Golden Compass in 2007. He won the 1983 Scotty of the London Theatre Award Actor of the Year in the new play for the original production of Grimsby Grand Boss. He was nominated for the British Academy Television Award for the Best Actor in 1977. He was born in October 20, died in 1940 in Leeds, England, West Warren of Yorkshire. But anyways, he attended Raleigh School in Leeds, then studied from King's College and Newcastle University. And during this time in Newcastle, he was a voluntary actor with the People's Theatre. Okay? After getting a BA, he was up studying acting. First at the Central School of Speech Drama, then Stuart founder of the Drama Centre London. He was a talented musician as well, playing jazz expert at the theatre 12 drama student John Lord. Later the Deep Purple and Whitesnake. Wow. Which is exciting. But Lord said of him in 1982 interview, in my early days, I had the band with a lineup of piano, bass, drums, vibes, and all the sax and clarinet. So we were able to do some quiet, weird things. The old sax player was Jack Shepherd, wow, who later turned acting. For me, he was one of the best all players, and he introduced me to Charles Mingus in that school, wow. Now, his career began with this. Shepard worked with the 12 Court Theatre from 1965 and 1969, making his first appearance on the London stage in the Officer Dragoons and Charlotte Margot's Dance. In July 1967, let's go down a little bit. Nice. He played Arnold Middleton in David Story's The Revelation of Arnold Middleton. Okay? Was transferred to from Charleston Theatre, forms which he received plays and players London's Critics Awards, and most promising actor of the year. In 1969, he starred in the satirical comedy theatre series World Informants, like that. During the 70s, Shepard appeared in many television dramas, including several appearances in the series Boogie in 1971 and 1972, and Ray, where you are, Mr. McGrill, McGill's in 1976, by Matt Jack Rosenthal. He played a television director struggling to maintain his composure during the shoot. And Sheriff Griff's Babe TV series, Bill Barr, also 1976, Rachel Weber, MP, both performance gained Shepard Royal Television Scotty RTS Awards for Short Band. He appeared in Redbirds and Count Dracula in 1977, which was Jordan's entire role. Wow. Shepard also spent a decade running a drama studio, Sheriff's Child in North London, along the fellow actor Richard Wilson, something like that. And during that time, it was become interested in script writing. Well, he described his several plays, The Fear, including The Sleep of Reason, from that in my method. Real Time, Clever Troll, and Half Moon. In 1972, Shepard was a founding member, along with Ian McKellen and Edwin Perbridge, John Carberry run Actors Comedy, playing Dracula, like that. In Tis P, she's a whatever it was, WHORE. Anyway, Spanish Police in War on the Rose, Edinburgh's Festival and Tour. In Aqua, in the Free Arrows, in the Arts of Cambridge in 1972. October, December 1972, he played Ben in David Mercer's Lismore Valley, something like that. And King's Ed's Beer, something like that. And in 1973 of January, took the title role in Dracula, the Bush Beer, and also collaborated in The Ride. Anyway, scroll down a little bit. His television work was in the 70s, including All Good Men, Through the Night, Obligations, and All About Terror Grips. Anyway, Terror Grips there. From 1977 to 1985, he was a member of the Bill Bryan's Causal Beer Company, and the National Fear playing Teach in American Buffalo. Jules and The Passion, Palmer and Rock's Rise, Thomas Clarkson and The World Turned Upside Down, Spade and Ronald Voyage Home, The Corresponding Dispatches, and Hickey and Iceman Cobb. Shepard organized a stage role of Richard Roma in Grocery Grand Ross, The College Shore in 1983, which received a Scotty of West End Fear Award, later known as the Letters of the Awards, as Act of the Year New Play. Shepard's first written work for the stage was In Lambeth, an imaginary combination of about relation between the poet and the artist William Blake. His wife Catherine and Thomas Paine was also author of Rights of Man. His first directed in the Partisan Beer in July 1989 before his transfer to Darby Warehouse, winning the 1989 Time Out Awards for Best Directing and Best Writing. Anyways, he also worked in his work in television during the 80s and 1990s, including Blind Justice, miniseries by Peter Bradley. He committed his acclaimed role in the eminent detective sympathetic Charles Wycliffe on HTV's television series Wycliffe is from 1993 to 1998. He appeared as Butler, with the Butler, in the 1996 television miniseries Over Here. Get over here! Someone that told me. Anyway, the fear director, Shepherd Stage Show Productions, the Stage Spears Globe, something like that. Including this Paul production, the Two Gentlemen of Florida, okay? Starring Mark Ryan as partners with that, which opened the Globe to the fair-going public in August 1996. A year before the fair opening gala, in 1998, the Globe he played Antonio in Richard Oliver's production, The Merchant of Venice. Shepard's epic drama about the Carlist movement, Holy Fire, was commissioned by the Shakespeare Globe Theatre as part of its reserves and installation season. It was first staged there by Mark Rosenblatt in August 2007. He also played the part of the father of the Robert Scholes production of Six Carrots and Surgeons that we offered in 2009. The Doctor in Massive Bill and Amelia and Melchior, anyway. One of Maggie's with that, in the first, 4-part, TV drama, The Navity, broadcast on BBC One in December 2010. He played Ralph Palmer in the 1980s case in 2011 episode Sorry in the TV series Walking the Dead. In 2014, he played Harry in Home by David Sorry in the Archwood Theatre and Joe in the BBC television series The Persians and Husbands, with that. 2014, Swarovski, with that. In Uncle Ben's and St. James Theatre, also in 2014-2015. He toured in 3 ghost stories, Whistle and I Come to You, and the Single Man from Middle Ground Theatre Company. 2015-2016 season, with the same company, he toured the stage, Adoption, the film, the virtual. 2017-2018, he played Art Sayer and Glorious Bagels play The Best Man, first on tour, and then on the playoff Fear London. His interest in community Fear led to an adoption of Dorian Gray on Hardy's under the Greenwood tree of the players, but the players collect different influence. His version of the layer was performed by the Harvey Players in Dorchester in December 2016. He wrote and directed a new play titled The Cutting Edge, starring Maggie Wasey. It premiered at the August Sphere in 2020, but closed almost immediately due to COVID-19. Personal life and death. Shepard married Judith Arwen in 1965. They have 2 children, Jan and Jake Shepard. The couple later divorced. In 1975, he married film and television producer, Ann Scott. They have 3 children together, Victoria, Caffrey, and Ben Shepard. He died to a hospital on November 24th, 2025, following a short illness. He was 85 years old. My last step, Tom has to Daniel Shegran. Born that name, he was a puppeteer and trained direct dancer who worked with Jim Henson from the 1968 to the early 70s. Shegran also performed background characters from Paul Prince, the Great Santa Claus Switch, playing Cigar Box Crackle, Paul Gonzo, and the Muppet musician of Breeman. He also worked with Henson in 1968, performing reindeer in the Ed Sullivan Show regarding the Christmas reindeer bet. Other editions of Ed Sullivan were working with performing Beat Bird, the dance number with Bird Watchers. He also filled in as Big Bird on Sesame Street from episode 83 and 86. When Carol Spinney, the voice of Big Bird, was sick. Touring as Big Bird with a human cast around America to promote the second season and stood as Big Bird in the cast photos. Wow. He also performed a vital role as Spider-Man on the television show's Workshop series, Electric Comedy. This is the first live-action voice of the Marvel comic character. There, quick credits will include work as both the puppet designer, Biller, and puppeteer for the American Adventures of Sim Goodbye in Natural City with Alice Tweed. Eventually made for Captain Kangaroo, as well as doing the same double duty Miss Peach and Kelly's School with Aaron Oxner, Olga Frank Matcher, Bob Stott, who played Molly from the Big Company Couch and so on, and Dan Weisman. The series of Canadian specials adopting the Mel Lavis on that comic strip Miss Peach. He also designed and constructed Kano, the lead puppet on the PBS series Storytime. Sadly, Daniel Sugar had passed away this November 10th, 2025. He was 81 years old. Now let's do the moment side special with regards to not one, not two, but let's go up a little bit, please. Thank you. But 4 dev topics right now. Thank you. Rest in peace, these 4 people. Now let's move on to my last thing to talk about. Actually, the 2 things I want to talk about, actually. One was, I want to thank you for giving me my views on 3 of the most shorts on YouTube. One which has to do with, 2 which has to do with most popular on YouTube. One which has 16 likes. And with no dislikes on them. The other one had 18 likes, no dislikes. So I want to thank you for watching 2 out of the 3 short videos and that I made on YouTube this week. And one of which you were disappointed. It's like 2 dislikes and 2 likes. And I don't know what it was, but it was Amu Jeffers looks like some hell. But yeah, it was just difficult. But anyway, it was so hilarious for people to watch it. But you know, that's just me. And yeah, and it was over 2,198 subs on my main channel. I'd like to thank you all for watching my videos after all these years. But yeah, it was great fun. So, you hope you had a lot of fun there. I'm getting close to 2,200. Not quite there yet, but once again, I want to thank you for tuning in, have a lot of fun. And sadly, as of next year, we're ending LJP CBM Fridays. Because as of next year, we're gonna cancel Elgin Fridays with a bang. We're gonna have to take a huge break from live streaming after next year's season, you know. Because I wanted to cancel the series, because it's going to take me some time and energy, but the Crazy Bunch web show must go on as a news report show, and we'll still do Elgin Throwback next year. It's just I don't want to do a news per se on Elgin Friday, sorry, but we're going to have to continue where we left off next year, okay? So, we're after 4+ episodes, we're canceling the show off. So there you go. But we're going to still do this anyway. But, you know, that's just me. But we're still going to have to end the series forever. You know, since some of you have been watching this. Thank you all for tune in, but anyway, I think it's the most right decision to make. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this episode of Crazy Bunch Web Show. Stay tuned. That's going to be, it's going to be Crazy Bunch Web Show episode number 135. But first, we're going to do the final season premiere coming away this Friday. In our Rudolph Day and celebrating Christmas for you all. Especially some news to share for my family and so on. That's going to happen this Friday. Till next time, so join us by a bit more Elgin stuff for you guys very soon. Till then, just say out. See ya.